Welcome, friends.
To the How-To Heretic.
I'm Uncle Mark.
And I'm Uncle Dan.
And I'm Uncle Doug.
And this is your user's guide to life on the outside.
That's right. Leaving religion is the first step into a larger, better world.
But it can also be a scary world. Things work differently now.
Never fear, that's why we're here.
We're your audio uncles. And with help from good friends and experts in all sorts of fields,
we're going to share the stories and seek the knowledge to build a great life.
After all, you only get the one that we know of, so you'd better make the most of it.
Well, dear uncles.
Hello.
How does this fine day find you?
Oh, just peachy.
It's a beautiful day.
So yeah, and you said it's raining up where you are.
Well, it's just gray today. We had bananas snow, because it doesn't really snow that much in Vancouver, which not a lot of people know, but it doesn't snow that much here. But it snowed like 14 inches, and the city was shut down.
Oh,
but,
wow.
Yeah.
If it's anything like I've been in Seattle, which is fairly nearby, during a freak snowstorm. And everybody just loses their goddamn mind.
A panic sets in, and I'm sure there were incidents of cannibalism. I'm certain of it. So,
no, we had 14 inches yesterday, and everyone just rolled with the punches.
I know they don't even close school. Like that's just Utah, right? So,
yeah.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad it's nice there. It's going to get nice here. I just hope, and but it doesn't matter because it's nice here on the internet, and we have episode 122.
Yeah.
So far, they have all fallen in a sequential order, which I think is we deserve some credit for.
Yeah, and, I mean we've made the math work out. We had to work hard on that.
Yeah, it's not easy, guys. And
the Mayans, we went with the Mayans on that one.
We are in the long count now. So, speaking of the long count, I have some fun today. We're going to meet a new group of people, and if you want to meet any of them, you're probably going to have to get a visitor's pass at any of the dozen penitentiaries.
Yes,
but I'm going to talk about the creativity movement.
Ooh, and creative is a creative title for them.
Yeah, it's a bit generous.
Yeah.
And then I am going to chat a little bit about a symbol that we here in these United States see all the time, and it's wrong.
And I'm going to do a kind of heretics roundup of stories in the news that somehow ends up with people smelling my taint.
So trigger warning for the entire episode, everybody.
Yeah, be prepared to throw your phone out of the window of the bus. So
or yourself. I do whatever you got to do.
So you can auto defenestrate at any time during this broadcast. So with that warning, let us proceed very cautiously into episode 122 of the How-To Heretic, brought to you live by the Wonder Bible.
Tally-ho! Hey, Uncle Doug.
Uncle Dan.
I am in the market.
Oh.
I don't have...
Are you in or on?
I'm both.
Okay.
But I don't currently have a religion.
Well, as Mormons, we were taught to be in the market, but not of the market.
Right. Yes, indeed. That's
right.
That's always a good thing to be.
Yeah.
Anywho, I don't have a religion, as you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I need one.
Hey, I'm always open-minded.
I'm not always open-minded, but Uncle Mark might be.
We are seekers, aren't we? We're always looking for that religion to join. We're just, fool me once. But you know how I love to introduce everyone to odd and overlooked religions, right? I love that.
Sure.
And, some are better than others, and some are worse, but pretty much all of them, when you dig down deep enough, or maybe not all that deep at all, are racist, right? So, good news today, guys.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Our new friends require no digging at all to find the bigot in the haystack. So, I don't know if you boys know this, but we are white. We're white people. And
you guys
according to the literature I've been reading this weekend, that's great news for us. Yes. We three middling mediocrities were born superior to all the other races. We are essentially genetically identical to, which I think is amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's good to be lucky. So,
yeah.
According to the shocking abundance of white supremacist literature on the internet, I don't know if you guys know that's out there, but there's a lot. We are the best. Well, except for the Jews, obviously, who are much more clever and conniving and way better at playing the long game than we are.
Oh.
And, of course, the Asians, meaning Chinese/Japanese, are actually intellectually superior to us. So
What?
Shit. And, of course, the African race, we're all of the African race, are physically stronger and faster than us. So, yeah. But we're superior in all the other categories, especially
Everything that's left over.
We're number 9. We're number 9.
especially the being white one. And what is white
Yeah.
superiority if not an effort to eliminate everyone we oddly admit to being better than us, right, guys? So that's true. Like, a lot of this white stuff is like, well, the Asian is obviously intellectually superior, and the African, of course, is faster and stronger. By the end, it's like, yeah, white people suck. What do we have? Anyway.
Pretty sure we're better at badminton than all of them.
I don't actually think so.
I think the Indians probably have us there, but
It's just by default. Nobody else plays.
agree to disagree. Well,
Croquet.
here's where our wonderful new friends in the creativity movement come in, guys. Also known as the Church of the Creator, and also the World Church of the Creator. After all the inevitable schisms, murders, arrests, suicides, and bankruptcies. You see, it's not fair that religion is only for casual racists. Straight up Nazis can have religion too, guys. And if the Trump years have taught us anything, it's that there's very fine people on both sides. So let's discuss one such very fine Nazi, the founder of the Church of the Creator, and the seriously not creative at all creativity movement, one Bernhard, because obviously, Ben Klassen. Bernhard, who would become Ben, was born in the Ukraine in 1918 and raised as a Ukrainian Mennonite, which is now a thing I know there are. His family immigrated to Saskatchewan, Canada, when he was 5 via one-year stopover in Mexico for reasons unexplained. Later in life, Klassen dabbled in real estate in Los Angeles and Nevada, where he and a partner founded the town of Silver Springs. So that's a Ben Klassen fact you now know. Want more Klassen facts? Okay. He also filed a patent in 1956 for his Can Electric, a wall-mounted electric can opener, but was crushed under the hobnailed boot of Big Electric Can Opener just a few years later.
Oh.
Yeah. As with Hitler's watercolor dreams...
I'm sure he then went on to modify it slightly and turn it into the e-meter, which he now uses for all of his
If only he was that
followers.
interesting. So, as with Hitler's watercolor dreams and Castro's baseball hopes, history must learn not to crush such beautiful butterflies, as we shall see with Klassen. So later he served in the Florida State House of Representatives before he became a vice chair of a group of Floridians supporting gloriously famous racist George Wallace for president. You can begin to see our friend Bernhard taking a turn here, can't you? Then he joined the John Birch Society, but quit after he found their attitude towards the internationalist Jewish menace insufficiently hysterical.
Right.
Yes, that John Birch Society was insufficiently racist for Bernhard. So, what's a George Wallace-loving, Jew-hating, Ukrainian, time-saving, kitchen gadget-inventing Nazi to do? Why, form a religion, silly. So, founded as
Are we talking about Lev Parnas, or are we talking about your guy?
Well, maybe. He's probably got a picture with this guy. So, founded as the Church of the Creator in 1973, true to form of classic cult founders, he accompanied this announcement with a 500-page tome called Nature's Eternal Religion. I found a bunch of quotes online in hopes of mining some entertaining zingers for y'all, but other than the very liberal use of the N-word, it's just so fucking boring. Suffice it to say, it's classic white identity drivel with a twist. And that twist is no Jesus.
Skun dun dun.
That's right. Unlike a lot of white nationalist Christian identity goobers who claim Jesus was a white guy and hated the Jews, of which he was one, the creativity movement is essentially atheist. They don't believe in God or heaven or hell or an afterlife of any kind, but also don't consider themselves atheists, since they themselves are the creators of the white race that not God ordained to be the master race after all the races that are better at stuff are gone. See?
Okay.
They see eternal life as the genetic continuation of the white race, as passed on from one generation of Nazis who skipped Baal to the next via the very white, life-giving goo each white warrior carries in his balls. Klassen, who, by the way, looks like Walt Disney took ayahuasca unawares, also rejected the label of atheism because he thought it was a negative approach to a positive evil. He said, I don't know, so many double negatives here. He said atheism lacked a positive creed and programmed to replace the Abrahamic religions and was not inherently racist. Oh, sadly, there are plenty of atheists out there trying to make a liar out of Klassen on that last front.
But not inherently. It's just one of those add-ons that you can choose at the dealership if you want one.
Yeah, it's an aftermarket plug-in. It's great. Yeah, it's you can talk to Sargon about that. So,
yeah.
In addition to eschewing Jesus because they argue no one can prove he existed, okay,
Fair.
1 point for the creativity movement, and claiming that Christianity was really a Jewish invention foisted on the credulous Christians to control them, okay, half a point, creativity movement. Yes, the whole thing was a Jewish invention, but Christians just up and stole it.
And also, so is Judaism.
Yes. Yes, they'd made that too. So nice try creators, as they call themselves. They are also to avoid and condemn miscegenation, obviously, homosexuality, okay, rude,
Doy.
but also whining, complaining, and superstition.
They just got me.
Wait. I've never met a less whiny or a more whiny crowd than racists. So
Yeah, right. They're very whiny.
I'm interested. If we can get racists to just shut the fuck up,
Right.
I'm kind of on board.
I would
Tell us
prefer a
more.
quieter racist. And because Nazis want to live long and white prosper, the creators are encouraged to eat a raw food vegan diet found in their 14 points of salubrious living, kind of a Nazi word of wisdom. And for the record, there is no word I hate saying as much as salubrious.
I love it.
It's my moist. Ugh. Gives me the chills.
I prefer Hieronymus.
So Klassen, who looked like Salvador Dali got stung by a Portuguese man-o-war, also published The White Man's Bible, a nearly 400-page doorstop I did not read because my Amazon recommended reading list already screams no-fly list because of this fucking show. But excerpts I read do little to differentiate it from the N-word laced, free associative ramblings of the 500 pages of Nature's Eternal Religion.
Oh my God.
Klassen was also very proud of himself for coining the battle cry of the oppressed white man, Rahowa.
Is that like Weebelows?
Kind of. It's acronymish for racial holy war, so it's the first two letters of each word, right? Rahowa.
Oh, God. Racial holy war. I love it.
He was
The
MAGA
the
before
holy
MAGA
part-
was cool.
The holy part is a little confusing, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. They're all idiots. So his Bible claims that the U.S. government, or as he calls it, the Zionist occupational government, is entirely controlled by... Can you guess, Uncle Dan?
I have so many possibilities in my head, and yet one keeps jumping out real strong. The Jews.
The Jews will try to prevent the creativity movement from its inevitable triumph, probably over a seasonally closed bird refuge in Oregon for a couple weeks, I reckon. So by any means necessary struggle of life and death, a preservation of the white race will ensue. And, of course, they abhor any use of violence. Wink.
Oh.
Winky wink.
Yeah, exactly.
More on that in just a tick. So, this is all well and good, Uncle Mark, I'm sure people are saying. But do they have holidays? Why, yes.
No.
Yes, they do, friends. Why, coming right up in barely a fortnight is South Victory Day. And it's not what you think. On January 26th, it celebrates that glorious day the British arrived in Australia in 1788 and began killing anything and everything that was not them.
Oh, wow.
I was certain that was going to be a Confederacy thing.
Yeah.
Nope. February 20th is, of course, Klassen Day. It's a special time with the very few people you don't hate to celebrate the birth of the guy who declared the holiday, Bernhard Ben Klassen, whom, I cannot stress enough, looks like a silent movie hypnotist who looked into the mirror at just the wrong moment. And because this is how holidays work, the very next day, February 21st, is Founding Day, celebrating the publication of Nature's Eternal Religion. But don't confuse Founding Day with all the ballyhoo on March 20th, Foundation Day, a day to think about race war. Seriously.
Okay, these
And, of
guys
course-
have a lot of holidays.
When is St. Honky's Day?
Well, it's coming up.
Okay.
And of course, who doesn't enjoy the festivities of Dumb Nazi Hanukkah, Festum Album, from December 26th to January 1st, celebrating the joys of, and I shit thee not, the Wounded Knee Massacre of 1890.
Oh my God.
When U.S. cavalry troops massacred 300 Lakota men, women, and children. Happy holidays, everyone.
Wow.
It's called Festive Album?
Festum Album.
Festive
Yeah.
Album. All right.
Somebody found a Latin dictionary at the library.
For the rest of us.
And there's going to be more Latin coming up. You'll quite enjoy it. So,
Oh, good.
okay. So I think I've laid out the very clear, very sensible, violence eschewing, yet Mad Max race war pining principles of the creativity movement. No?
Yeah.
Well, what is a religion but those who follow it, right? So let's take a peek-see at some of these fine religious, not at all insecure about being white people, shall we, guys?
Please.
Creativity movement acolyte and reverend in the creativity movement, George Loeb, murdered Iraq war vet and, yes, black man named Harold Mansfield Jr. in a Florida parking lot in 1991. He got life in prison, and the Southern Poverty Law Center sued Klassen and the creativity movement for $1 million for fomenting the murder in hopes of shuttering the hate group for good. A spiral of trying to dodge justice and intercreative movement betrayals naturally followed. Butch Stanko was a devotee of Klassen and his teachings.
Did you just say Butch Stanko?
I very fucking much just said Butch Stanko.
You just made me the happiest man alive.
Yeah,
that is my favorite name of all time. All racists are now Butch Stanko.
Move over, Carl Hungus.
And he is one salubrious motherfucker, let me tell you. So the now infamous Butch Stanko was a devotee of Klassen and his teachings, and could have been a successor for Klassen, who was trying to separate his white ass from any legal liabilities in a show of superior courage, but Butch was unsurprisingly serving a 6-year prison sentence for selling tainted meat to school cafeterias. Because, of course, he was.
Is that how he got his last name?
Yeah,
Then, of course...
yeah, exactly. The hint is in the name, guys. Don't buy from Stanko Farms.
Don't buy from Stanko Meats.
Like, is that how cafeterias buy meat? Some dude just rolls up the back door like, hey, check this out.
I
Check
got a
this
truck
out.
full of meat.
So then there was Charles Altvater, a pizza delivery guy who was picked to lead the church, but then got himself arrested for trying to bomb a Baltimore cop's house. So,
Holy shit.
oopsie. Then Klassen turned over the church to a skinhead from Milwaukee for a hot minute before he lost control of him, before finally settling on Richard McCarty, a telemarketer to lord over the triumph of the white race, before Klassen himself committed the ultimate sin, killing a white man, that being his own self, by swallowing 4 bottles of sleeping pills at age 75 in 1993. He was surely overwhelmed by all the superiority. So, our intrepid racist telemarketer's
That's the true
time...
white man's burden. Is just
It is.
being so goddamn superior all the time.
You just got to turn it off. So, our intrepid racist telemarketer's time as the Pontifex Maximus, yes, that's what they call their great white pope, was
Yes.
troubled and short. Hard to believe given the smooth sailing the creativity leadership had so far, right? So, right off the bat, several members were caught trying to blow up the largest black church in Los Angeles and assassinate, of all people, Rodney King. To those unfamiliar, King was a black motorist who was beaten savagely by several police for an insanely long period, all of which was caught on video, and the acquittal of the officers kicked off 1992's massive LA riots, an exciting time I myself experienced firsthand.
Right.
So, yeah,
Well,
why
Mark-
not kill that poor guy?
I have a little skin in that game too, Mark. You might have actually been in L.A. during the riots, but our mother was so terrified those riots would spill over to Wilson Avenue, Salt Lake City, that we turned the lights off at like 8 p.m. every night.
Well, it was entirely probable. When you're that racist, it's entirely possible. So, other members were caught by the FBI and confessed to bombing an NAACP office in Tacoma,
Jesus.
and other plans to attack a myriad of black and Jewish and gay targets and gathering places and blow up TV and radio stations and even attack military bases, because race war is nothing if not wildly ambitious.
What the hell were they doing at Tacoma?
And didn't you say this group was avowedly like pacifist?
Well, they keep saying they eschew violence, but then everything I'm reading to you happened. So, something tells me the creativity movement's claims to eschew violence might not be on the up and up, guys.
What?
And Tacoma, Washington, and Oregon and Idaho are there. They want to claim that as their homeland, right?
Oh my God!
So they're very active up there.
Pretty white. I'll give them that.
Pretty white. So McCarty.
Rename it Stanko Land.
Yeah, put Butch Stanko's up there. McCarty, the telemarketer's one notable act as Pontifex Maximus of the Church of the Creator was agreeing to disband the whole thing so the meanies at the Southern Poverty Law Center would leave them alone. Such was the caliber of this race warrior that he folded like a cheap white hood. But there's hope, guys. The movement would soon be reborn under Hitler fanboy and law student Matt Hale, who worked to bring the faith into the internet age after he was anointed Pontifex Maximus at the ripe age of 25. One of Hale's most loyal disciples was a guy called Benjamin Nathaniel Smith. When Hale was twice denied a license to practice law by the Illinois bar due to his bigotry, his friend Smith went on a rampage that left 40 people wounded and 2 people dead before he shot himself. All victims were members of minority groups Hale and the creativity movement railed against. Hale, of course, at first pretended, because of the courage of the superior race, he never knew Smith, but was soon forced to admit they were close and had met up just days before the shootings. Hale continued to insist the group's aims were legal, nonviolent change, while also praising the murderer of random innocent people, Smith, as a martyr. So figure that out. But then Hale...
As a martyr to himself? Because he
to the movement.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you kill yourself, do you get to be called a martyr?
Yeah, I think that's pretty weak sauce.
It feels, it doesn't feel quite right.
So then Matt Hale got himself in a little pickle when another group that already held the rights to the name World Church of the Creator sued. Judge Joan Lefkoe found in the other group's favor and ordered Hale to change the name of his Nazi Sunday school. He responded by getting himself recorded trying to arrange for the judge to be murdered.
Nice.
And is now partway through his 40-year prison sentence. While another church member got 4 years for threatening a juror in the same case. These crazy kids just can't catch a break, right?
It's so true.
Shit's not going their way. Other notable members and supporters include Craig Cobb, who is essentially an unemployable drifter, most recently known for buying condemned lots in a dying North Dakota town to create his dream of a white ethno-state in North Dakota called Trump Creativity. So, yeah. Thanks, Obama.
Oh, wow. There's a shock. They like Trump. Weird.
Yeah. And, of course, the Geed family. Who are the Geed family, you ask with great reluctance? Why,
I'm not sure I want to know.
They are the family who sired Lamb and Lynx Geed, better known to all music lovers as the cutie pie Nazi tween twin band Prussian Blue. Prussian Blue being an obscure Holocaust denier's reference to Zyklon B, the gas used to commit mass murder at the Nazi concentration camps. These blue-eyed blonde darlings sang about white genocide and recorded a tribute to jailed Pontifex Maximus, Matt Hale. Now, to be fair to the now 20-something Lamb and Lynx Geed, they have denounced their past beliefs and say their mother was a Nazi lunatic who coerced them into this trash. But I thought we could end this examination of a nonviolent religion comprised of clearly superior people with some lyrics from Prussian Blues, 2005, chart not smashing, not a hit, Ocean of Warriors. As I look over yonder, what do I see? I see the masses growing like a raging sea. Men and women of valor, willing to die to reach Valhalla. What do I see up over there? Today's stormtroopers ready for the dare. All I see in the distance is an ocean of warriors marching forward to battle. An ocean of warriors ready to kill with a fist of steel. Ready to fight to cure our nation's ills. They're really reaching for the rhymes here, guys. White resistance has risen, freed from the bond of this emotional prison. We fight for love,
but still
not for
contained
hate.
within a literal prison, mostly,
Yes.
largely.
Most of them, yes. We fight for love, not hate, to banish the cowards, to traitors' gates. All I see in the distance is an ocean of warriors marching forward to battle. An ocean of warriors. Spirits are high, as standards they fly, in orderly files, marching so proud, mile after mile. Corps after corps they lead, and when it comes time to bleed, they're gonna know that they did their best for their nation's needs.
Oh, my God.
How about that, guys? That's something,
I
right?
mean, when you open your song by rhyming C with C, you've lost me already. I'm already gone.
Two things. First, I definitely need a Silkwood shower after wading through the septic tank of the internet to write this here segment. And second, I found it oddly refreshing and upfront to find a religion that is so straight up about their frothing, overt, and declared racism after doing so many segments on outwardly kindly Jesus followers who try to hide the elephant of their racism under the floorboards.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Mormons. So, yay, Church of the Creator?
Good Lord.
Thank God the master race is pretty much devoid of competence, because 95% of their plots went nowhere. But Jesus Christ.
Competence is the realm of the Southeast Asians. That's going to be your
Exactly
Indians,
right.
Right.
So I hope I've convinced some people out there. I think there's a growth opportunity here.
yeah. Oh
Get
my
in
God.
there. All right.
Gross. By the way, I just Googled. I did a Google image search for Prussian blue band, and you get these adorable little blonde girls.
Yeah.
With both in matching T-shirts that have a smiley face with a little Hitler mustache and a little bit of Hitler hair. So that's cute.
about that?
Good.
Isn't that fun?
Excellent.
Yeah. Very sweet. So anybody can have kids. That's the problem with life on Earth. So
Exactly.
all right. Well, before this gets any more depressing, let's move on.
Yes.
Uncle Doug.
Uncle Mark.
You know, there's all kinds of things out there, and some of them are shapes. And
Mark, is there a gas leak in your condo in
You did this to
Vancouver?
me. You did this to me last week or a couple of weeks ago. So
I
I did it.
I'm like, don't say any of the following things, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I gave you guys literally nothing to go on this. So
There are in life one may experience things such as flavors, sounds, shapes, lines, some diagonal, some that have a curve. And
with that, we're moving on.
you did great. You did just great.
yeah, Uncle Dan, what sort of
Save
life
Uncle
experience do you have to talk about today?
Well, listen, what you're talking about, or
Are we
what you're
actually
trying to
recording?
talk about.
Don't tell me we're actually recording.
No, this is just
Okay.
the trial run.
Okay, good.
What you're trying to talk about is symbols. Now, I'm not a guy who dwells too much on symbols. I
Right.
do enjoy a good metaphor, of course.
Sure.
And I certainly understand the utility of things like branding or whatever.
Yeah.
But symbols in general, symbolism, I don't have much use for it. That's just not how my brain works. And the truth is that the more I read the Bible or other religious literature, the more I hate symbolism. For example, every now and then I'll read a passage that doesn't make sense to me, so I'll Google it. And fuck if I don't find page after page after page of expert interpretations and rabbinical pronouncements and conspiracy theories, all of which purporting to tell me what that particularly unclear passage actually means. What the donkey represents, what the dirt means, what the bricks are versus what the mortar is. It's all symbolic, you see.
Yeah.
You just have to interpret it correctly.
Right.
Right.
Well, fuck you! What the hell kind of God puts out a holy book that is so unclear in its meaning that his dopey monkey children have to fight over what it means for the next several thousand years?
If your story is more footnotes than story, that's a fail.
Why don't you just tell me what laws you'd like me to obey?
Right, exactly. Wouldn't it be quite obviously better if he had just said what he meant outright and saved everyone the heartache?
When your soul is on the line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't worry. This is only the most important thing you need to know ever. Right. I'm going to tell it to you in a mystery. No, I'm not okay with it. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about a symbol that has meant different things throughout the ages, or maybe a few symbols, but started as a religious symbol. Now, this whole thing was a rabbit hole that I went down after reading a stupid passage in the book of Numbers, chapter 21.
You can just say passage.
Right.
If you want to save time.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. The chapter starts, by the way, with Moses and his merry band of Israelites still wandering from place to place, and within the first 3 verses, they've been set upon by the Canaanite king of Arad, sworn to God that, quote, if you will deliver these people into our hands, we will totally destroy their cities.
Okay.
That's a quote from the Bible. And then they did just that. That's 3 verses. There is no comment made about any of this, good or bad. They just murdered every man, woman, and Canaanite child, burned their cities to the ground, and then went on a wandering. So anyway, that's a fun way to start a chapter, if you ask me.
Yeah,
3 times.
Strong start.
Yeah. 3 times the number of verses is given to the very next story. This one starts with, and you really won't believe this, guys, so brace yourself. The Israelites complaining. Remember back when I had to take 1,000 episodes to get through the Exodus because the record kept skipping and doing exactly the same story over and over and over? Mm-hmm. Well, this is 2 biblical books later, and they're still doing the same shit. They complain, this time about the food, presumably manna, and God smacks them with another hardship, this time in the form of venomous snakes. So the people cried out that they were sorry. And now will you please make these snakes go away, please?
I mean, I'm equally annoyed with the complaining, but I also kind of like, okay, all I have to eat is this crusty, sandy bread. And if I bitch about it, you're going to throw a poisonous snake at me.
Yeah.
Didn't we also conclude that manna was like there was bird droppings involved? Isn't that a thing?
That's what we decided. Seems that was our logical conclusion. Absolutely.
That's our symbol of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but Doug, the problem is that, yes, it's valuable. It's worth complaining about if, like, you have shitty food and you're just wandering in the desert.
Yeah.
But they've been wandering in the desert with shitty food over and over again, and every time they complain, they get a plague of some sort, and then they don't ever learn.
Right.
And that's my objection. Anyway, so Moses told them, so Moses prayed to God. God said, okay, here's what you do. You make a snake and put it on a pole. So anybody who got snake bit and could look at that, and then they'd be healed, which Moses did out of bronze, which must have taken a while. And presumably assholes were getting bit left and right, waiting for this damned pole to be finished. So you'd think the Lord would just, make the snakes go away.
Well, we've established that this merry band of Jews have idol smelting capacity on full boil at all times. So making a bronze snake is like way less than a
good
calf.
at something. Yeah.
And plus, with a snake, all you got to do, you take it and you roll it, and then you got yourself.
That's right.
Super easy. It's like the easiest thing to make.
According to the movie Bananas, there's a better way to get snake poison out of somebody. Uncle Mark, do you remember?
What?
Is it?
Suck out the poison.
Yes, indeed.
Suck out the poison. Yeah. So anyway, Woody Allen deep cuts aside.
Somebody somewhere is laughing, and it's probably me.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I read that bit, and I said, snake on a pole? I know that symbol.
Yeah.
That's on all the medical stuff, right? This must be the origin of that. And down the rabbit hole I went. What I found was weird and confusing and fascinating and eventually embarrassing for me about my stupid country. So first I want to ask you fellas to describe what you remember, what you imagine when I ask you to describe the symbol of medicine.
What I imagine?
What do you see in your head when I say that?
Well, you're not going to like that I'm going to name it the Caduceus. Okay. And what I see is 2 snakes wrapped around, I think, a pole with a kind of vessel at the top, which I think is indicative of a mortar and pestle kind of thing.
Interesting.
I got the double helix snakes around the pole. I forget what's up top, but I remember the double helix snakes.
Okay. So hold on to those images.
right.
I'll get to that in a minute. But I Googled snake on medical symbol, and the first thing I got was the Caduceus, or the Caduceus, which, well done, you, Mark. You get a star for the day.
Art school dropout, baby.
It's usually a staff with wings at the top and two snakes looping around it, double helix
right,
style.
the wings. I forgot the wings, yes.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, that's it. That's the medical symbol, and I was right. That's the symbol I'm used to seeing as a reference to medicine. But that's not because that's what that symbol is supposed to reference. That's because Americans are idiots.
Oh.
We'll get to that.
Hot take.
Yeah. But before we get to that, let's check in with the symbol that folks from other parts of the world might recognize as the medical symbol, which is a staff with one snake swirled around it and no wings. This is called the rod of Asclepius. Asclepius. Asclepius, the son of Apollo, was the ancient Greek god of healing and medicine. He was the father of Hygeia, hygiene, that's the goddess of cleanliness. Iaso, the goddess of recuperation from illness. Accesso, the goddess of healing, the healing process. Egli, I don't know how to say it. I'm nailing these. The goddess of good health. And Panacea, the goddess of universal remedy. So a cool dude who brought a lot of healing into the world. Like, that's kind of his whole gig. And a good guy to know, presumably. It's said that he began his learning his healing arts from Apollo, his papa, but his knowledge really took off when he started under the tutelage of Chiron, the wisest and justest centaur. What really set Asclepius apart as a healer, though, was when he established a relationship with a particularly useful snake. It seems that the ancient Greeks saw snakes a little differently than the ancient Hebrews. Far from being venomous death squiggles who will trick you into eating the wrong fruit, the Greeks saw snakes as mystical wisdom noodles knowledgeable in the arts of healing and resurrection. There are different versions of the story of how Asclepius became associated with a serpent. In one, he was commanded to bring a duke back to life. In his nervous contemplation, he was banging his staff on the ground and unwittingly killed a snake in the process.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sad.
Oh, yeah, sad.
Apparently by accidentally, quote-unquote, accidentally, repeatedly hitting it over the head. Later, he watched as another snake slithered up and placed an herb on the first snake's head, who then came back to life and slithered away. Asclepius ran out, got the same herb, put it on the dude's head, and shaboom! Snake remedies to the rescue. He's revived the dude.
Yeah.
Any word on what herb this is?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure Big Pharma has it locked up.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that if you put parsley on someone's head, suddenly...
Yeah.
Anyway, the other story is that Asclepius apparently did some kindness for a snake. I don't know what that was. Maybe he let the snake borrow his snowblower or helped him move. Anyway, whatever. The snake was so impressed that he cleaned Asclepius's ears out with his snaky tongue. Gross, but okay.
Okay.
And then taught him a bunch of awesome snake secrets about healing. You guys all remember that from Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
Anyway, either way, Asclepius became the best healer around, and his snake and stick combo became the symbol of that. I should mention that all of this is a much nicer origin story for the image of a serpent on a staff than the other theory, which is that it comes from the traditional treatment of dracunculiasis, or guinea worm disease.
Oh, God.
Which is a parasitic disease in which a person is infected by guinea worm larvae and lives a fine life for about a year until a horrifically painful blister forms on their legs, at which point the only thing to do is to coax the worm out by soaking the wound in water, which you are then very careful not to let get back into the groundwater, because that water induces the worm to release her young. And then, when you see this nasty nematode, you start winding her around a stick.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
And after a few days to a few weeks of gently pulling, being careful not to let her break, you'll finally have relieved yourself of that nastiness.
You know, I could have used a trigger warning about a minute and a half ago.
Yes, so could have a lot of our listeners.
Wow.
I apologize
Walked
for that.
away.
Wow.
I could have used a trigger warning when I saw the image of it.
Oh, my God.
Unrelated. Yeah. Anyway, personally, I prefer the mythic version. They can get up to 30 inches long.
Okay, all right.
Welcome to Worm Talk on the How to
Worm
Heretic. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the worm. The rod of Asclepius, a serpent on a stick.
Yeah.
But if that's the medical symbol, then what's the one that Uncle Mark described before?
I don't know.
Well, bitches, that's the Caduceus, which is the staff carried by Hermes, whom you may know is a totally different Greek god from Asclepius.
Yes.
He was actually half-brother to Apollo, making him Asclepius' uncle, so there's that.
Okay.
The Caduceus was a herald's staff, and it has many meanings depending on who you ask. One myth says that Tiresias was walking along and saw two snakes fucking. He killed the female one with his staff, but the male one got away. Tiresias immediately turned into a woman. He remained a woman until several years later when he found the male snake and killed him with his staff, thus, I guess, creating balance back in the universe, and he transitioned back into a man.
Okay.
I would love to see that written up in a medical journal because that's pretty interesting stuff.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? That's, very interesting. That you assume the sex of the snake you kill.
I mean, all that makes sense, as you would say.
Fair warning, people.
That's
When you're
right.
killing snakes, be ready.
Well, I think it's only they have to be fucking for that to work.
Oh, okay.
But talk about a cheap way
Never
to
mind
do a
then.
transition, you guys. All you trans people, pay attention because even the surgeons in India can't compete with the free.
It's a fast track. It's
killing
a
a
fast track.
fucking snake thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, another myth has Hermes himself come upon some snakes who are fighting. He separates them with his staff and thus engenders a peace between them. So it becomes a symbol of peacemaking. Hermes was also the god able to transverse the border between death and life. Mm-hmm. So, depending on who you believe, the two snake Caduceus is either a symbol of gender transition, which is cool. Get on that trans community. That's an awesome symbol.
Do they use it? Does the trans community use that as a symbol?
Not that I'm aware of, but I think they ought to because I think it's awesome. Other than the fact that it's confusing now, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
It could be a peace symbol. It can be a symbol of going between life and death, or most commonly throughout the ages, even though I haven't really been able to figure out why, except that Hermes was all about this, it is a symbol of commerce. So why has that symbol come to mean medicine in the old US of A?
I think you've answered your own question, Dan.
Right? Well, yeah, that's the problem. You'll be shocked to learn that it originates, the fault, at least, of this originates with our wise and brilliant military. Back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, they were looking for symbols for the military uniforms, etc. And one guy, and there's some dispute about which guy it is, so I'm not even going to mention the name, actually convinced the U.S. Army Corps of whatever. What is it?
Engineers, or you're talking about doctors?
No, it's the medical corps.
Yeah.
To adopt this winged, double-snaked symbol as their symbol. Probably. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of theories as to why. Some of them include that they were. One insists that this was meant to be a symbol of commerce, of mercantilism, and therefore was a symbol of not being on one side or the other of a conflict, and therefore don't attack us.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch and a half. I think somebody just saw it, thought it looked cooler than the one snake on a stick, and just fought for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's symmetrical. So it looked better as a brass button on your collar, probably.
100%. And the wings look pretty cool, and I think it just looked better.
Yeah.
And these ding-dongs adopted it.
Looks like a
They
military
fought it
thing.
for a while because it was run by doctors for so long, and they all knew what the symbolism meant. And then finally, one doofus comes along, gets convinced, and it's there forever. Huh. And now the United States of America is littered with it. Strangely, and I saw this listed in a few different places. There was a study that was done, and a high percentage of medical practitioners use the rod of Asclepius as their symbol, but also a majority of medical corporations in the United States use the Caduceus as their symbol, which to me is perfect because in this country,
you want healthcare.
Medicine is a business.
Yep.
And it is all about making money off of the suffering of others. So maybe it's not the wrong symbol after all in these United States. It's just a sad, sad symbol.
So
that's interesting. Yeah.
I always thought it was the Moses story. That's what I always assumed.
I was told that from a young age, I think. But I was also told that this double snake with the wings thing was the thing. Turns out, no. This goes back to the Greeks. Now, it's possible, this is interesting, that the writing of Moses's staff with the snake does predate the Greek one.
Oh.
It's possible that that predates. However, it's likely that other symbols of snakes on staffs predate Moses. The Egyptians had one. The Indians have had symbols like that. So, or in terms of origin, it's possible that there's a common ancestor,
right,
sort of thing. But that's hard to parse out. But the medical one is definitely the Greek one. So there you go. If you see the two snakes with the wings, you know that
it ain't free.
It ain't. That's right. It's going to cost you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for Snake Takes.
It's been Snake Takes with Uncle Dan.
Yeah. Look for more Snake Takes every week.
For the Parasite Power Hour.
That's right.
And worm
it's
words.
nematodes to horrify Uncle Doug.
All right. Well,
we'll do it again next week.
That's fascinating. Medicare for all. Okay. Let's move on.
Damn straight. Gentlemen,
hello,
friends, Romans, unclemen, lend me your ears. We do this show, as you know, weekly, and people who appreciate it then sometimes go and give us money for it.
Yes.
This week we got a couple new people to thank, so I just wanted to jump into that real quick. Thanks so much to Alec and to Joan for their lovely for originating their patronage of us.
Thank you
Welcome
so much.
to the family. Welcome to the family.
Yes, indeed. It is a family that's pretty easy to join. All you got to do is go to howtoheretic.com. You click on the little button that says something like support us.
Yeah.
And bada bing, bada boom, it takes you to our Patreon page. You sign up. You choose the amount that you want to give us. It doesn't have to be high, but it should be as high as you can
totally
imagine
voluntary.
yourself paying.
It's totally consensual. Like, to join a regular family, you got to pop out of somebody's vagina. This, you just got to give us a few bucks and you're in.
You're in.
Got a seat at the table.
Yes, indeed. And it's a wonderful place to be. Some of our patrons, if you come in at the right level, you get early access to every show.
That's right.
You're a Monday person as opposed to a Wednesday person, and as we know, that's just plain better.
And in this news cycle, you need to jump.
You need to jump. You got to be ahead of things. You got to be on the cutting edge, baby.
Yeah. You want to be the first people at the water cooler on Monday, right? On your way to work, you listen to the show on Monday. You're at the water cooler. you know about the creativity movement? These motherfuckers have to wait till Wednesday. Who's getting the promotion? You.
That's right. That's right.
You. Your patronage just paid for itself.
Boom. Exactly. We're not promising you a promotion at your work.
Guaranteeing
we are guaranteeing you.
Guaranteeing it.
It
So
will
be
happen.
ready.
100%.
Be ready for money and pussy to come your way. Hit that button.
10 times over.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford to do that, that's fine. Or if you can, either way, still go to wherever it is that stars are sold and put them affix them to our firmament, if you will, please.
That's free, bitches. That doesn't cost nothing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Go to your iTunes, your whatever, wherever you listen. There's gonna be a place for you to rate us.
Yeah,
just do it. We're not jerks about it, but just do it, and only 5 stars, please.
5 or die, bitches.
So many thanks to all the people who've already done it. There's a ton of you. Thank you for fucking doing it. We're not yelling at you. We're just yelling at the person next to you who hasn't done it yet. So give him a sharp elbow in the ribs, and let's get those stars rolling, people.
Cha-ha! You know, Uncle Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I'm not aware of what's happening in the world.
That's probably the best way to live in 2020. To be honest,
I'm just letting it all move past me like so much water in a river.
Do you feel like sometimes you need a little bulletin?
Every now and then, you know, it doesn't hurt to just sort of dip your toe back into the water of the news and see what nibbles at you.
And remember why you turned it off in the first place?
Yes,
exactly.
Indeed.
Well, Doug, do you have something to report on religion today for us?
Well, I do, as a matter of fact. And you know how once you become aware of the existence of a thing, you start to see it everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, when I bought my Chartreuse Hummer a few years ago, all of a sudden I started seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So such is the case with religious hypocrisy, divinely inspired boneheadedness, and credulous panic buying of whatever the local snake oil salesperson is peddling. Often these stories are mere blips on the radar and certainly wouldn't merit 20 minutes of our time or our listeners' time. However, if one simply keeps a bucket to toss them into, before long there's enough slop to toss into the trough. Such is the case with 3 stories that occurred in the past several weeks, which I will now recap in our new segment, Heretics in the News. First up, we have one.
Those were real sound effects Cody made. Those were not me and Dan being morons.
I think I just signaled the start of a war in Morse code. I'm not sure.
First up, we have one Barry Cole Pointer of Kirksville, Missouri. Mr. Pointer, 57, is a professor of communications at nearby Truman State University, and until recently was one of 3 elders in the Kirksville Church of Christ. Longtime listeners need nothing more than this to know what exactly is going to happen next, and can feel free to skip ahead a couple minutes. You see, Mr. Pointer had a secret identity. However, he lacked the panache and subtlety of Anthony Weiner or Mitt Romney, who went by the online monikers Carlos Danger and Pierre Delicto, respectively. No, Mr. Pointer chose a far simpler and much more on-the-nose DILF, which, of course, according to Urban Dictionary, means Dad I'd like to fuck.
Yeah.
Leaving aside that I don't think you're supposed to self-apply terms like MILF, DILF, or GILF.
Yeah.
Although I will gladly apply that to you, Uncle Doug. Even though you're not a dad, you've definitely got that dad bod that they're
He's got some daddy. He's got daddy energy.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And he called himself DILF because apparently Kuka-Wuppa-Wook, or Christian conservative who predictably wants cock, was taken.
Kuka-Wukka-Puck? I love it.
That's now Uncle Mark's grinder handle.
Yeah. Well, that's the first 25 letters of my grinder handle. Yeah.
Mr. Pointer used this fake identity where else but on Grindr. If anyone out there does not know what Grindr is, just ask your pastor. Apparently,
or the closest Republican.
Exactly. Students at Truman notified authorities that some creep was going by the name DILF, and he was harassing students and soliciting sex for favors. What favors, you may ask? Well,
I don't think I need to ask, actually.
Oh, you want to know this.
Yeah, okay.
This is where this sad story takes an even sadder turn. Police set up a fake profile on Grindr and managed to make contact with DILF, who said he was looking to have, quote, a sugar daddy relationship, and offered to buy his prospective partner a tank of gas and, quote, might throw in an Arby's card, LOL.
Okay. All right, listen. Gay guy here. Any potential sugar daddy out there, you have to do better.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? You have to do better. Come on. An Arby's card?
Yeah, exactly.
I might disagree just a little bit because Arby's motto, of course, is we have the meats.
That's
Yeah.
right.
This may not have been as pathetic as it sounds. Also, it bears...
No, it very much is. It very much is as pathetic as it...
Well, let's be fair. It bears reminding that using Subway cards as currency for potentially underage sex has lost a bit of its luster lately.
Yeah.
Although there's a surprising amount of fast food chain logos or mottos that would have worked as well. KFC's is finger licking good. Burger King's is have it your way.
Yeah.
And of course, Taco Bell is think outside the bun.
That's less good for a gay site.
No word on why Arby's is Mr. Pointer's statutory currency of choice, which leads us to last December 3rd, when Dilf agreed to meet the undercover officer at a gas station. When he realized it was a sting, he fled, but was pulled over several blocks away and was arrested.
What was the illegal part? Was it underage? He was soliciting underage sex?
That's what they're kind of trying to pin on him. They've charged him with a Class B misdemeanor for soliciting sex that could lead up to 6 months in prison or a $1,000 fine. Here's the thing: he claims he wasn't soliciting minors. He was soliciting students of a college. So more
Some of them are minors.
Some of them are minors.
Some of them aren't.
but if it's over 18,
Right.
and if it's over 18, and if there's not offering to like directly pay cash, I don't see how that's a crime.
Then his crime is being gay and
and
Right.
closeted and desperate.
that part of the country.
Right.
But here's the thing: is if I'm a little unclear why if consenting adults want to exchange cash for sex, that's a problem. Isn't that their business? I mean, I understand that there's laws on the books. I just am challenging
Of course it is. I was
the
only saying
morality
that
of those laws.
I feel like the editorial position of this podcast could very easily be pro-sex work. I don't have a problem with that.
100%. 100%. I was only bringing it up because if it's illegal wherever he is, then that would be the illegal thing.
Yeah.
But unless he was directly soliciting for minors, then this is just the cops harassing a gay guy who also is a big fat dope because he's a conservative pastor. But whatever.
It can be both things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that takes care of that little nugget. His case is working its way through the courts. Let's look at a heretic in the news from our own neck of the woods. According to the Salt Lake Tribune just 2 days ago.
Sorry, hang on. Maybe his crime was that he used the moniker DILF, because that feels like maybe that's worth arresting him.
It's a crime against English, but of course this is Missouri.
There you go.
Sorry, Missouri listeners. So just a couple days ago in the Salt Lake Tribune, it was reported that a woman named Tamu Smith, who is half of the duo who call themselves Sisters in Zion. They are two progressive black Mormon women pushing for reform from inside the wire.
Mm-hmm. Progressive black Mormon women. I think literally you just exploded the language by trying to squeeze those words together.
That's a lot of matter, antimatter, but let's see where it leads.
To be fair, that's how they refer to themselves on Twitter.
Right.
One of these women, Tamu, snapped a photo of the print version of the 2020, quote, Come Follow Me for Individuals and Families manual. Now, this manual is meant to be source material for parents and spiritual leaders in the Mormon Church to answer questions about church doctrine and practices. In the photo is a question that reads, quote, What is the curse that came upon the Lamanites? The answer in the manual is, quote, the dark skin that was placed upon the Lamanites so that they could be distinguished from the Nephites and to keep the two peoples from mixing. The dark skin was a sign of the curse. The curse was the withdrawal of the Spirit of the Lord. Yeah. That was in the 2020 Family and Ecclesiastical Manual from the Mormon Church.
Now, here's the thing. That was 100% for the bulk of history, of Mormon history. That was 100% the canonical thinking of what that was.
And it
is
kind
for
of
any Mormon over
still
60.
Is. Like
exactly.
the 1978 thing didn't make that go away.
Right.
No, what made it go away was much more recent. It was like 3 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, 2018 was the 40th anniversary of the manifesto that supposedly, made black people less icky.
Right.
But they've put a ton of money and of their significant budget into marketing away this black thing. So the church managed to literally whitewash this passage out of its online version of the manual, but it somehow made it into the printed manual that has already been distributed to ward houses around the world.
Yeah.
You know, when racism is in your DNA, like, say, the color of your skin, it's going to manifest itself no matter how hard you try to pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, they literally backed off of all of those old racist stuff.
Hard.
But not actually out loud to their members. They did it in an essay that they put out sort of back when Mitt Romney was running for president and they needed to put their best foot forward. They started to write all these essays and put them on their website so that they could that tackled the spookiest parts of their religion.
right.
And in that essay they were like, "Oh no, we don't believe any of that shit anymore. That's silly. Don't be ridiculous."
Exactly.
But they also totally backpaged those essays, right? Like they weren't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was
They
no
not only-
fanfare.
It was literally just a place where they could point any sort of snoopy reporter who wanted to
Oh,
go
no,
after them.
we have an essay about that.
No,
Go find
no.
it.
Look,
Yeah.
it's on our own website.
And all the
If
members are like, "We have an essay about that."
Yeah, literally. No, I literally had to tell my father-in-law that existed, who still was very excited about all the racist stuff. And I was like, no. Look at this. And he was like, "That's not real. I'm pretty sure." And I was like, "Well, it's on their website." So
He was very
LDS.org.
excited about it. With a boyish wonder, he got out of bed every morning excited about the racism.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, well, that brings us to my final story of heretics in the news, Gwyneth Paltrow. Good.
Oh, boy.
moving on.
Yay.
Yeah.
As we've covered back in episode 43, Gwyneth has, in very large air quotes, a health and wellness brand called Goop. This brand exists.
We technically could be sued ourselves for just saying it's a health and wellness brand.
Yeah, frankly.
Yeah.
So it's not, lawyers. This brand exists exclusively to prove how easy it is to separate white women from their Chardonnay money.
Right.
On the wellness section of Goop, as of this morning, one can purchase an amethyst crystal-infused water bottle for $84, a Vesper vibrator necklace for $149. That is a vibrator worn on a necklace for the woman on the go. And the V-Fit
How long
Intimate...
is the chain on that necklace?
Not long enough.
Yeah.
I checked. A Vesper vibrator necklace for $149. Oh, yeah, I hit that one. Sorry. The V-Fit Intimate Wellness Solution, which is a multi-speed vibrator that uses heat and the miracle of red light to help achieve orgasm for the low price of $495.
Oh,
there's much
That's a
more.
steal at twice the price.
Right, exactly.
Red light? Come on.
But for the true prize that was in the news this last week, one needed to be Megan on the spot in order to purchase a $70 candle, and I am not making this up, called "This Candle Smells Like My Vagina."
Yep.
And as if to prove the need for this podcast to exist, the candle sold out in minutes. So according to Paltrow, they were working on candle scents with her team when one concoction reminded everyone of the smell of a vagina. So they decided to run with it. They created a smell that, quote, evolved into a funny, gorgeous, sexy, and beautifully unexpected scent. I bet it fucking did.
Beautifully unexpected.
Right. Now, what does Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina smell like, according to Gwyneth Paltrow? Well, a blend of geranium, citrusy bergamot, and cedar absolutes juxtaposed with damask rose and ambrette seed.
okay.
Bullshit.
Oh, fuck you.
Let me tell you something. I don't have Wilt Chamberlain levels of experience with women, but I've had a few. I've got some experience with women.
Yeah.
No.
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 I mean, I'm not trying to shit on anybody's vagina.
I'm
smell,
not trying to orifice shame.
but it ain't that.
But look,
whatever it is, there's no bergamot involved.
I am not arguing. Look, I'm not arguing from a place of any kind of privilege here. No part of my body smells even acceptable, but no part of my body smells like a geranium or
Exactly.
sandalwood. Like,
Right.
if you want this vagina candle, I can save you $75. Come over to my house. I'll fry up some scallops, and we'll have something to eat. You know what I mean?
Right,
You just
exactly. Okay, so this all comes in the wake of an alarmingly weird Christmas commercial last December, which featured Gwyneth slurping martinis and strolling around her starkly decorated house like Melania Trump inspecting Slovenian blood cones, before pulling a vibrator out of her stocking and heading off to rub one out of her pine and coriander stem stinking twat. So, and
Ooh.
It's coming out before a Netflix series premiere this Friday of a show called The Goop Lab, which promises a look inside the Willy Wonka's factory of overpriced vibrating plastic status symbols. We will no doubt revisit this subject when the series premieres.
I'm going to push back on you on something. I'm on Goop right now, and I found at least one that's not plastic. It is fucking gold, so take that.
Wow. The exception that proves the rule.
That's right. For $3,500, you can have a gold dildo. How about that?
Jesus, for $3,500.
Wow.
Fuck. But all of this pales in comparison to the truly egregious action that really got me in a lather. It turns out that the name of the candle line of which her labia light is part is Heretic. Oh, hell no.
What?
Longtime listeners will no doubt know that our line of wellness scams is called Heretique and
Yes.
has been for some time.
That's right.
So, Gwyneth, expect to see us launching a lawsuit faster than an ejected vaginal egg.
Cease and desist, Pepper
That's right.
Potts.
But but while we're on the subject, I would be remiss if I didn't announce our new winter lineup of Heretique products. For example, the Phlegm of the Month Club, where Uncle Mark will send you 1 jar of artisanal phlegm a month generated during the recording of this show. This one-of-a-kind phlegm can be used in teas, on toast, or as industrial lubricant. Don't forget Uncle Dan's lineup of young and old exfoliating mesh bags of fingernail trimmings. Get these fast as it takes Dan over a year to collect enough clippings for one bag from retirement homes and elementary schools.
Yeah.
And, of course,
It's a labor of love. It's a labor
That's
of
right.
love, really. Yeah.
It's true.
Of course, there's also this road flare smells like my taint. Yes? Change your tire in style with this one-of-a-kind road flare that smells like my taint after I played a hockey game in a wetsuit. With hints of spoiled meat, salted meat, sadness, and jasmine. So those are all the products available on Heretique as of this morning. And that concludes my roundup of heretics in the news.
Yes,
Wow.
indeed.
Well, that was all exciting stuff, and it kind of hit all the senses. You know, we really covered all 14 of them.
Hit them in a way that nobody expected nor wanted.
Definitely neither. So, well, thanks, Doug. That's it's great to get caught up once in a while. Let's never do that again.
Let's move along.
Well, friends, that is it for this week's show.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. If you have the wrong symbol on your place of business, send us an email at howto@howtoheretic.com.
Or if you would like to discuss business opportunities in body part scented candles, you can leave us a message to leave Gwyneth a message on our voicemail at 903-88-HOW-TO, which is 903-884-6986. We can also have Candle Talk on Twitter. I'm there at HowToHeretic.
And thanks to our stanky patrons.
And thanks to Cody Laytons, who Scented Candle edits this show.
And thanks all of you for smelling like bergamot.
Bye, friends.
Bye.